What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning back in. Today is going to be a good episode as we are actually officially starting on the K-swap. I know I've said that in the past few videos, but today we're actually going to be putting the motor in the car, which I am so excited to be doing. Everything pretty much ready. Got my motor and trans all assembled, ready to go. I have to go pick up my alternator from AutoZone real quick. That way I can toss an alternator on there, get the belt on. But other than that, guys, I got the car all jacked up, ready to go. Got everything, got the cross member and everything removed from the car, so we are ready to go ahead and try to slide this engine in, boys. It is pretty windy today, so I do apologize for any of the headphone users out there. It is pretty windy, and but anyways, it's pretty cold because of the wind, but I ain't gonna let that ruin my day today, guys. It's my weekend, and I'm getting this motor in regardless. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring y'all with me, and let's get this episode started. Alright guys, so for those of you that are just tuning into the channel, this is my 1991 Toyota MR2. I am doing a K-swap build on it. It is a boosted setup. That's a GTX 3584R Pulsar Turbo with the PLM top mount manifold. The motor is full built. It's got Wiseco boost line rods, CP forged 10-to-1 compression pistons. It's a CSS O-ring block. It's got drag cartel 3.2 cams in it, Ferrera 6000 series valves with SuperTech 100-pound springs and retainers. The transmission's pretty much a stock gear stack. It does have carbon synchros. It's got a wave track LSD in it, and that's pretty much it. Oh, the engine does have King race bearings as well as a ported Type S oil pump. Forgot to say that. Anyways, so like I was saying about the transmission, it's pretty much stock. It's got a stock gear stack, wave track LSD, carbon synchros. It's got D10 springs, shift selector springs in it. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I only plan to be running about 450, 500 just to keep the trans alive until I can go with a dog box setup. But I do believe that this is going to be well in enough power to have some fun. 450, 500 horsepower in this thing should be pretty gnarly. So anyways, guys, I got the car jacked up over here. Got my Jeep in front of it in case it decides to roll away. It's kind of a sketchy setup, but you know, I had to make do with what I had. Had to use some steel ramps. Those are my wheel chocks. And yeah, so just waiting on my buddy Eric to show up. He's gonna come help me. That way we can go ahead and get this motor slid over to the car and try to get this thing bolted in today. So hopefully within the next hour and a half, we'll have an actual K-series in the MR2, which I am so stoked about. So stay tuned, guys. Let's get it. All right, boys, so we got the motor over here, got the subframe getting dried off, got that painted. We're about to just kind of crab walk this motor up underneath the car, and then I'm gonna see if I can't just lower it just a little bit on top of the motor, and then swing the cherry picker back over to the car, and then try to lift the motor up into it. So it sounds a little confusing, but although I really don't have a method for this, I'm not really too used to having to do this, but this thing should be pretty simple. I mean, as far as getting it bolted in, we only have that bolt right there on the trans mount and the bolt on the other side for the engine. So I'm going to go ahead and put y'all down. That way y'all get the pleasure and enjoyment of watching us struggle to get this thing underneath there. So put y'all on a quick time lapse. Alright guys, so we got the car somewhat lowered. We got them off the big jack stands, try to bring the car down a little bit. Now we got the cherry picker over here. We're going to try to raise the K-series up into the mounts. As you can see, got my good old trusty special rigger system right here that I kind of got, you know, ghetto strapped to the engine. We're just kind of slowly raising her up. We're going to try to slide, just get enough to slide those two bolts in, one right there and then one right there for each of those motor mounts on the side. And yeah, so I'm gonna put y'all on a time lapse while we do that, so y'all can see how we do this. officially got the motor in the car. I went ahead and I tossed my turbo manifold and everything on there, my turbo, just to kind of get an idea what it looks like all mocked up. And man, let me show y'all. Look at this. Everything is in there. I still have to do my front motor mount, my rear motor mount. But for the most part, guys, you can kind of see how this is all going to go in here. All right, boys, so we got the other motor mounts here. I'm just putting my subframe motor mount on. These are the Toyonda motor mounts. This motor mount just kind of sits right up here on the subframe. And then you got, let me see here, this guy here, which, let me just kind of walk y'all through it, how it goes here. This little bracket. There, oops. So this little bracket just kind of swings in there, and then just kind of sits like so. You know, kind of got to work it a little bit. So that's kind of how that bracket goes, and those 3 bolts just kind of go through the bottom. Put your 2 bolts up here. Trying to do this one-handed. Hopefully I don't end up with the motor mount on my face. There we go. So that just kind of threads in like that. Just start a couple threads for now. We'll leave everything loose. That way if I do need to adjust anything or, you know, shimmy some stuff around, what have you, I can do that. So try to get this one in there. Pretty good shot of the exhaust manifold as well, in case y'all were curious. This is the PLM T3 T4 top mount manifold they just released a couple weeks ago. Plenty of clearance there on the firewall. About 2-3 inches right there from the firewall, so don't think that'll ever be a problem for me. So anyways, these bolts just kind of screw in like that, and then you got your one main bolt that will just kind of slide through the bracket like so. Just like that. Put your washer on the back side. All right. So like I said, that's kind of how that mount goes in there, right? Kind of like so. So I'll go ahead and I'll tighten all that up. And then I also have the front mount. This one goes on the firewall. The cool thing about these Toyonda mounts is that they come, all the hardware and everything are all nice labeled in the bags, and everything's all together. I know which bag is for what as far as the bolts go. See, that one says Firewall. Kind of barely read it now, but that one says Firewall. And then on this one, if I can show y'all, this bracket or this plate just kind of goes up and bolts to the wall. Oops, you guys can't see. Hold on. There we go. So this bracket just kind of bolts up to the wall where the original motor mount used to be. So I'll go ahead and I'll put my 4 bolt holes there to hold that secure. And I'm going to do that real quick. It's a pretty awkward angle, so I'm going to pause it. All right, boys. So that's kind of how that bracket sits up against the firewall. And then you got all this hardware here that they include. This little spacer goes with this bolt, with this washer. This is the bolt that just kind of goes through and holds the 2 mounts together. But these 2 bolts here is what actually holds this bracket to the transmission. So this will kind of sit, hopefully y'all can see here. So this mount will kind of go in here and sit kind of something like that with inside that bracket. So I'm going to kind of wiggle that up in there, The longer spacer goes between here, as you can see that there's a gap, and the smaller spacer goes up here. So man, does she look pretty. Got that motor mount in there. That motor mount was a bitch, but we got it in. Got the shifter plate, shift cable plate already in there. I still got to do a lot of things, guys, but you know, we do have the motor in, and I was kind of bored, so I also started mocking up my intercooler setup, which I might as well just kind of go ahead and show you guys. As y'all can see here, I am going to be running a water to air intercooler setup on this car. I went ahead and custom made some bracketry down there in the trunk. Fun fact, when I pulled all this carpet out, the whole floor pan was rusted, so I had to replace that. That was fun. I think the rust in the trunk was a little bit worse than we thought, boys. What the fuck?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast. Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates.
Like I said, I also got some bracketry and everything kind of made up in there. I got my intercooler just resting here now, kind of getting an idea of how I want to, you know, how high I want to mount it. But you know, we do have everything completed as far as the motor, you know, getting it in the car and get everything kind of mocked up. That's kind of how my intercooler is going to sit. So super excited about this. This intercooler right here, this is a thick old boy. She's about 4.5 inches thick, and it is a dual vertical flow, so which means that the water, you know, has to come this way and then circulate and go out this way. So the air, you know, has to pass through that core. It should drop my intake air temps down a ton. The reason why I went with water to air, you know, just it's a lot better, helps boost, you know, in between gears, less boost drop, you know, way lower IATs, and I mean, it's just all the benefits of going with the water to air intercooler. So really only drawback is, you know, I'll have to add ice to it, but I think on the street, you know, if I'm not racing it, not really beating on it, I should be okay with just running some water, maybe even possibly some coolant. Yeah, so anyways, guys, it's a super short, simple video. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, the process, us, you know, getting the engine back into the car, and that's it. So we're going to keep cranking away from here, but I think that's all I'm going to have time for today. Just got off of work at Honda, and we were busy. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Really appreciate y'all watching. Next video, we're going to go ahead and start picking up on actually mounting the water to air intercooler to the trunk, and then we'll kind of move on towards some other good, fun things. Jeez, I can't talk. So anyways, guys, I really do appreciate y'all watching this video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. That way y'all can, you know, stay tuned on this channel and follow the build. If y'all want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is THOMPSONBUILT, INC, all one word. You can check out the build process on there as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll freaking see y'all later.
Beneath all the rubble, and all that runs through my flesh is a spirit of trouble. Under